Alright, for the part 3, my mommy 2 OP is asking,
Strong
where
Snapchat.
should I use my mirror in the first game? I think you've answered this, I'm not sure.
Because his real name is Karen.
What's this?
Alright.
Alright,
I'm always down there.
just go for it.
I'm still trying to find a question on my end, but my mommy 2OP, right?
Alright.
That's a great name. Just so I can read it accurate. Just to make sure that.
Well, you haven't answered number 6 and
What else? Oh god.
number 5.
No more names, please.
My mommy 2OP.
Not enough.
Alright, can you, okay, just ask it one more time. I'm gonna just put my volume up.
I accept.
Alright. Can AllForOne explain about the Bloody Queen hitbox? That's number 3.
Mm-hmm.
And number 4 has been answered.
Make sure to pack your lunch.
Number 5 has been answered. For number 6 is miasma cute or not? So that's it.
Alright. So Bloody Queen's hitbox
Wait, you
is
don't have to
not
answer number 6.
if I want to.
Alright.
But
I mean, I think it's answered
but
if you answered it. Man to man. Alright.
no. We can say no homo. Alright. Bloody Queen's hitbox. So as I said earlier in a earlier part, Bloody Queen's mirror image has a sort of bigger and wider hitbox than her own self. So I can't really give you a exact measurement of how much. Just imagine your own image, but like a couple meters, like to the right and to the left. Like that's why sometimes you'll see a bunch of like hits that you'll question, like, oh, how did that mirror image just hit me? Like, and she'll be facing like one way, and you'll be hit from the side of her. So it's sort of like a 180 degree line that is like straight in front of her mirror image. That's why sometimes when you'll get hit, you'll be like, oh, she wasn't even facing me though, but she'll hit you from the side, and then just it's like sort of similar to old Joseph's hitbox, if you remember. Like it was like whenever he swings, like it always hits like a person on the edge or someone right in front of him or on the left side of him. It works a lot similar to that, except it also works a lot in front of her too. But her regular range, when she's actually walking, you could, with her speed, you could combine like your camera angle. It like if you sort of know how to like aim with Ripper, like you move with your body, you could easily just move like with your body and then get like behind pallets easier and get those hits as you turn. So say you're throwing a hit, instead of moving with the hit, like the claw attack or your shard, you move your body like towards the survivor and you just move to the left or right. Now what this does is that it clears you of any obstacles that may be in front of you or in your way that could be a detriment to you catching the survivor. And that could easily like help you like land hits that you wouldn't be able to land if you were just trying to swing and then turn using only your regular attack. So using your body to move allows those different angles to be pulled off when you're just kiting with your regular body instead of just your regular mirror image. But her mirror image does have an extended hitbox, and it's like a wider 180 degree range. When should I use Persona 12, 3, 6, and 9? I don't recommend using 12 on her at all. There will be very little there will be 0 moments at all. For those of you who don't know, 12, 3, 6, and 9 refers to the Persona tree as a clock. 12 being confined space, 3 being trump cards, 6 being detention, and 9 being insolence. So 9 and 12 are automatically out of the picture because you don't need insolence. And you don't really need.
Nobody uses insolence. With BQ.
I think there was one game on stream that some people will remember where I was making a troll build for Landland, and because she asked me in my stream chat, can you make me a build for Gamekeeper? And I'm like, sure. And I made the most dumb build, and I forgot that I was using that on Bloody Queen, so I accidentally took it into a game. So I had Insolence and an incomplete up build, and I managed to somehow tie that game.
Oh wow.
So it like you never want to run Insolence, and you never really want to run up. I get the pallet speed is nice, like she does like kind of mow down those pallets, but you're never gonna need confined. Like the only thing you need from up tree is Berserker and the pallet stun recovery,
Mhm.
and that's really about it. But you always typically, like I said earlier, want to go down right, which is the tension trap card with one in order. You don't want to dedicate any more points than one into one in order because it honestly isn't needed. Like you could just patrol just fine with your mirror image, even with the decreased movement speed. As long as you get that like focus on one survivor, whether it be mercenary. If it's mercenary, you could then guarantee a free like double hit
Yeah.
if you're accurate with your mirrors. And if it's not, then you know who's where, and you could pressure the ciphers accordingly. And is
Yeah,
Miyazuki
just
cute or
like
not?
what you
He
think
is.
of this match.
Yeah, basically, like you see here, like I see the seer that I need to get, and then yeah, like that's like you don't want to be focused necessarily only on what you have to like do to win a game, like AKA just get your chair hits and tunnel.
Mhm.
Bloody Queen is all about adding pressure all over the map at the same
Wait, so
time.
did you
Like
intentionally left Hokage for Psyche in this match?
yes, correct, because Hokage the seer was dead on chair,
Mhm.
and the cipher that is nearest to me right here in Factory, I know that's the cipher that they're gonna be aiming to get down.
Oh, so that's why you tunneled Psyche then. Mm-hmm. All right.
And then
Oh, did you got TC'd again?
did I lag out?
Yeah.
Did I get these? Oh, of course. Am I better now?
Mhm.
Okay.
Number
As I was saying,
6.
number 6 is Miyazuki cute or not? Yes. No homo, no homo. It's okay. He's an awesome dude.
For Sleepy Angel, he or she's asking how to use her at the right moment.
So like mirror images or just the character in general. She's always usable at right moments. Every time's the right moment. But I'm gonna assume that when do you use the mirror image at the right moment? So usually this is just in areas that you have a good angle to kite in. Well, in any sense, if you're in a tight kiting scenario, first off, rather than patrolling. If you're in a tight kiting sense and you know that you could land the mirror image, then by all means go for that mirror image. Like you want to try and just get it off cooldown. It's more useful like being used rather than just being up and you not using it rather to just guarantee a hit. When you're camping, it's always a two-way like sword. Like do you want to and then you get rid of the doll, slow down that cipher rush.
Can you repeat that? I think you got
Let
disconnected
the
again.
kitty go. No.
Oh my god, my internet loves my internet loves
Maybe you
playing
can
with
make
me.
it short.
Live under my roof.
Yeah, okay, so
Oh yeah, we're just gonna do this.
You-
we're gonna do that.
if you're camping, you either want to make a decision. If you want to double hit the rescuer more easily, if you want to get rid of a doll and a cipher, if you want to just hit one person and apply the slower decode to everyone globally and have that one person injured pressure, waste that time. There's many things you could do with the mirror. It all depends on what you feel you're more comfortable with and what you can accomplish more in that moment rather than just, oh, I'm just going to use my mirror to patrol at all times rather than just, double hitting the rescuer each and every time. If you keep on changing how you play during a game and just stay unpredictable rather than just double hitting every single time with your mirror, then that's the most dangerous Bloody Queen because she's completely unpredictable. You don't know when she's gonna mirror onto your cipher, and you don't know if she's just gonna hit you, terror shock you, and then it just leaves you out in the open. Because at that point, it's uncounterable, and there's just nothing you could do about it, which is what makes Bloody Queen truly remarkable. Because that's a real strength of a hunter, and And even some other hunters can do it, but just not to the same extent Bloody Queen can.
Well, moving
You do
on,
be
this is
vibing,
from
though.
Kiddo. What's the
Especially
best
AllForOne's
counter
dog,
for
bro.
BQ? Any survivor tricks,
No.
survivor looping plays that make you
I don't
feel
want to call
difficult
anybody my
in
dog.
dealing with
It's really weird.
survivors? Ask Bloody Queen.
Okay. So whenever I'm playing Bloody Queen, like I said, the worst map I always seem to
Moonlit.
be on. Moonlit, yeah. I tend to lose most of my Bloody Queen games on Moonlit, actually. Mainly because I rotate terribly. Because I'm like, oh, where's the spawn? Or like I found
Mercenary.
and rescue. Like, yeah, exactly. Or sometimes they'll just have a really good transition, and I have no idea where to go from there. And they'll transition. The survivors will play really well in transition. Like if the survivors like rotate like accordingly, like kudos to them. That's really hard to pull off all the time, and against a Bloody Queen, that's even harder. But probably the most trouble is in Red Church because there's so many tight areas to where if you're not paying attention to your area, then you're not gonna end up getting the hits with your image, and they could easily just counter it because if you switch your image, all they have to do is vault a pallet and time it perfectly, and then if they get that boost, you're stuck in an area without your mirror image. So Red Church is definitely one of the best maps to face a Bloody Queen on. And if you don't want to ban her just for that increased chance, or you really hate Dream Witch or something, then you could easily go for that sort of ban on Red Church. But you can pretty much ask any Bloody Queen player that map is just absolutely horrendous, just because of the close proximity of every other area in that map. And Perfumer does even wonders there. Like every survivor does pretty well there, honestly, except Mechanic or Mind's Eye, because they're the only slow decoder. They're the only slow kiters, and their decode obviously is fast, but you don't want to deal with any tough kiting situations in that map because you will get kited with your image if they do know how to take advantage of those areas.
He or she is also asking any mirror placing tricks that you could share to them.
So so in those tough areas, the best thing I could recommend is the closer the image is to you, the more accurate you can be. And I did go into depth about that a little bit earlier, but as long as it's close to you, I keep losing my train of thought. As long as the mirror image is close to you, the more control you will have over it. And because you have that close proximity to you, again, the mirror image is gonna have more range over the survivor in that case. So the best trick I could give personally, with a difficult kiting situation, I'm trying to compare it to what happened in one game. Oh, there was a game where I messed up really badly on Bloody Queen, and it was there was 4 people up by the time the ciphers popped, and the way the game went, and it ended up being a 3-man in my favor, just because of all the the mirror images placed that were in close proximity to me rather than just far off. Yeah, I think I caught that on stream, but it was just insane. I was like saying the entire time, like how did I win that?
Wait, so what map was that?
That was Red Church. That was but the survivors played it really well.
Mm-hmm.
I played it horribly, and they took advantage of that. Survivors that could take advantage of Bloody Queen's mistakes, again, kudos to you. It's really hard to pull it off, but it is possible, given enough practice and fine tuning when it comes to playing. So, like anybody who beats me on Bloody Queen, I always amend because it is a hard feat to do because Bloody Queen is very hard to face. Like I'm never. Yeah, I'm never I would never be like cocky saying, "Oh, you lost to my Bloody Queen." Like it's Bloody Queen. She's a hard character to face. Like if I tried doing that if I tried kiting any Krog, Yeah, I might try like kiting a Krog Bloody Queen. I wouldn't even be able to do that. Granted, like I play the character, but it's like me with Ripper too. It's like, oh, I know how to play Ripper, but have I any idea how to play against him? No. So,
All right.
and all the tricks I did sort of went into depth earlier, like the stairs and all that elevations.
I think this is also the same. Monstrous Ronin is asking tips for mirror placement in the beginning of the match and when you are being kited on the tight place. I think it's the same.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Roughly.
Alright, moving on. Aya is asking how did you practice to become efficient with mirror placement for BQ? Was it hard to master her? Any tips for us viewers if you can? It's already answered, right?
It's already answered, but like in context of like how did I practice like the accuracy of the mirrors?
Mm-hmm.
One thing I did do a lot is I always just in a custom with just bots. Like it didn't have to be with people. You could just sit in the game and just place the mirror like right in front of you, so and then just slowly just look at your range and get used to the controls, get used to the way that your image is facing. This is how you could get used to the proximity of the mirror image, the way that you have to face, like the way you have to time it when facing a certain way to get a hit off. Like that. That was really effective because it gets you a sense of how far away your mirror image will be from the mirror if you place it a certain distance, and then you just slowly go farther and farther the more comfortable you get. And this helps like in all regards. This helps you in tight kiting. This helps you in patrolling. This helps you in those long range mirrors that you see me do constantly. And it's one of the most satisfying things to do. Like, do you know how awesome it is sometimes to when you pick up a survivor, your mirror image is still out, and then you hit them with a balloon attack with your mirror image.
Yeah,
it's one of the most.
That happened to me before, and I was forward.
Yeah, yeah, it's super satisfying. That's one of the best feelings in the world. This was a great game. I remember this game. The survivors did really well, capitalizing off of all my mistakes early.
Well, we're down to 2 questions. Maybe you can give a thought process from this match first before we finish off with the 2 questions.
Yeah, all good. All good. I don't mind going to death.
Alright, well, we're waiting. Let's answer this one.
Oh, good.
Juniper T is asking, is it good to use the mirror while camping if a rescuer is relatively close towards you?
No. If the rescuer is like right there and they could get the rescue off like as you're recovering, like you could pretty much judge that on your own, but if they could still get it off while your mirror image is still out also, it's not a good idea to do it.
So it's like a waste of skill if you do it.
Yeah. And you lose a lot of chase. You have a lot better chance of just going for a basic, them getting the rescue off. If the mercenary elbow pads away, you could mirror onto them, get a quick hit, and then ensue the chase onto onto the person who just got rescued. So if they're relatively close, I don't recommend it. If they're farther away, then yeah, go for it by all means. So this game was actually kind of funny.
Yeah, you found because mercenary first, then forward.
Yeah, I found mercenary and then forward. So I'm like, oh well, this is already out to a weird start. But I assumed that somebody was here, and lo and behold, it was Perfumer. And I think I ended up missing a couple of hits because I over anticipated like right there. You don't want to over anticipate your hits. That I tried to just bait out the Perfume in that sense. So I'm like, okay, I get a free hit on forward because he's not paying attention. Yeah. So at this point, I'm like, okay, well, he's injured, and they don't have a mechanic, so I think I can ensue this chase even with the Seer Owl. And this is one of the toughest areas to, like, you know, get, like, anybody, really. And if I was more patient on this hit, I could have gotten it right there, but I was a little bit off. You could see in the path he's running. Right there, I could have blinked on him. Right here, that was a really great owl.
Yeah, that was
predicted the blink. That was a perfect owl. kudos to that owl, predicted the blink. So this forward I set in game is running broken windows on a forward. So I
Wait,
typically
he
don't
has
really see that.
wait, he has broken windows.
Yes, he does. It's not just knee jerk reflex. He got a speed boost off of that vault, and he's wasting a lot of football here just to get away from me. So I know later that he won't have a lot of rescue potential. So that's somewhat good, but at the same time, it's wasting a lot of my time. So hey, at least we got some plus sides. We got him injured, so and we got a seer owl down. Granted, I traded my blink for that, but again, it slows down a decent amount of decode. So here I find the mercenary. I want to pressure him off that cipher, and I know somebody is over there, and I think that is Perfumer. That is Perfumer. So I know that she used a perfume earlier. So right now I'm just trying to hit her. I'm very surprised that didn't Terror Shock her. I didn't know
I was
that
assuming
was.
Shock.
Yeah, I honestly was too, but I guess I was a little bit off. But hey, that was my mistake, and that was really well played on her end. That I swung just to get her scared so she can use her last perfume. That I know she did use. So now she has no more perfumes, and I could ensue the chase a lot more easier. You could see I'm cutting her off here, but I still keep throwing a lot of hits just to, try and get any hit. And I'm just being a really good bloody queen right here, landing every single hit. But heavy finally land one. Forward's healed up, and forward is in a chest. And forward is in a chest. So that basically swings the whole game for me. Granted, it wasn't like a detriment to the spot I was already in. I could have ensued the chase on a perfumer, but I saw the forward, and regardless, he was in a chest, so that was a free hit, and he wanted to also close it. So at this point, there's 2 ciphers left, and I know somebody's right next to me. Yeah, you probably should, but he used all his football, so he's worried about getting an item as soon as possible. And I knew Seer was over here because I heard the decode going off even before the wanted order was going off. So here I just try to hit him and try to hopefully get him down, so that decreases a lot of pressure. I do know the forward got rescued, and I think I stay on the Seer here. I do. The reason being is because, again, forward mercenary, not the best decoder, so I'm like, okay, let me just try and get this guy down because he is a high priority target, and he does a great job juking my mirror, so I'm just like, okay, let me just cut him off here and make sure he has nowhere else to go. So yeah, so this game is actually a great example of what to do versus a Bloody Queen that is not very patient. This game was one of my more impatient hits, which is not very good. You don't want to be as anticipating as this game when it comes to throwing hits out like that. So I got the wanted order on the mercenary, and I do keep in mind that they are trying to get the cipher down. He had no idea where I was coming from, so I got a free hit there. You can walk out this far, and then if you are confident in your mirror, just go for the free hits like that. So that's a double hit before he can even get to the chair, and I do know he doesn't have Tide Turner. So right here, I'm also staying near the cipher just to keep an eye on whoever's going to come near it. And I think I end up switching regardless. Yeah, I do. So here I still want to secure down the Seer, and I do keep in mind that the forward is still on that cipher over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he does stay on that cipher. And Perfumer, I don't have an idea on, but I'm assuming that he did call her over. So at this point, I'm taking a guess that there's 2 over there. So instead of chairing the Seer back over on that other chair in the back, I want to chair him right here. He goes for a stun, which rushes the save, but I'm keeping an eye on the cipher. This is a great chance to have normal it. So because there's all 4 of them here, and they all want to gun down that cipher. I know Mercenary's down. Seer, I just got down. Seer's dead on chair, I know that much, but I still want to pressure the cipher to where it has no decode on it. So right now I just want to pressure the Perfumer. I did keep in mind that the forward was right over there. Perfumer goes down because she is very impatient with that pallet. You don't want a Bloody Queen to just run up to you in a pallet like that. So here I take a gamble because I'm like, okay, does he have football or not? And he doesn't. so there he just used it for intimidation purposes. So right there I try to get greedy and try and get a hit. So now I decided to get Seer out of the game because I have a lot of time to work with now, considering Perfumer's down. This is the only cipher that's being done, and the survivors put themselves in a really, really bad spot. Because at this point, that's their only cipher. They know that, and the only 2 are up is forward and mercenary, the 2 slowest decoders probably in the game. So at this point, I know I'm in a pretty good spot to win, honestly. So right here, I mirror because I know the forward's still there. I missed the mirror image because I'm a good Bloody Queen player. and I see the mercenary still going for it, and I still know the cipher is not that close to being done. So right here, I think I could have stayed on a perfumer, but I just really didn't want to risk the cipher going off. So right here, I stay around just to get another abnormal off for free, because might as well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Might as well use my ability for that and sole intended purpose. I heard the perfumer healing the mercenary over here, so I'm like, okay, well, that's a free hit. And at this point, I just pick her up and then just share her. Mercenary. Even if he didn't use his exit path, it's gonna take him a really long time to get up.
Yeah, because of his debuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna take him a long time. So at this point, Forward just pretty much gave up because there's nothing they could do. So and that's the game. So that was a good example of just you can use abnormal because all four of them are right there, and they were gonna gun down that cipher.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that they didn't started another cipher on the other.
Yeah, and they also could have rushed the cipher there because it was a slither off being popped, and as my abnormal animation is going off, you could still pop it.
Yeah.
So if they just bomb rushed the cipher there, then they could have popped the cipher and then easily just gotten a 3-man because I had no teleport and I had an abnormal that's on cooldown. What's that gonna do? Set back the gate? But that was just an overall good example of just be patient with your hits. Don't throw them out like I did over and over again, like a good player. That's me flexing my draw record.
All right. One last question. It's from King Salmon.
It's only the beginning of the season, that's why.
King
I think you've already answered this one.
Just beginning of the season things.
Yeah, it's about
So can we talk about left right
whether you
forward?
should use teleport or use
Left
the
right
mirror
forward
teleport
is,
instead.
very interesting,
For example, if there's
prospect.
still 2 ciphers left, which one should you use
Very
for
Okay.
map
good
control?
on,
Okay.
Mm.
This is a good question.
I don't know what to
So it's good to have teleport and near the end of the game. Like I said, Blink is always your go-to because Blink secures a lot of easy downs and a lot of quick hits that you could get with your mirror. But if you're trying to establish map control, if you do have teleport, then it would obviously increase the amount of pressure that you have on the ciphers because of your teleporting all over the place, like back and forth with your mirror image and your actual teleport tray. But like I said, I only really recommend that after you secure it down. And if you do want to establish map control, then that it would be near the end of the game. So sort of 2 ciphers. So exercising map control takes a lot of intuition on what ciphers they want to do. You have to predict what the survivors want to do and how they want to do it. Like who are they going to put where and why are they putting them there, and who are they intentionally like putting near you if they're sort of thinking that far ahead. And what that causes is a lot of mayhem in the game because you're throwing them off their routine. If you're throwing the survivors off of that routine, then you could easily just secure a win in your favor. Like you don't want to just like chase down the person just because that person is right in front of you. You want to keep in mind why that person is in front of you. Say it's just a perfumer or even a seer or just any character really, but you have to keep in mind who's doing what cipher. And if you keep that in mind and just get a surprise mirror image, you get a guaranteed hit every time basically. It's a lot like Wu Chang with his teleports and coincidentally playing Wu Chang. But that offers a lot of map pressure opportunity, and because of that map pressure, it offers you a lot of control over what the survivors can do. And because you have that control over the survivors, they'll panic. And because they panic, they make a lot more mistakes, and you could capitalize off of those mistakes pretty easily. So Bloody Queen can capitalize on that more so than everybody because of that mirror image. And if you get those hits, if you just are confident with them, and like I said, you are more patient with them, then you could land them every single time and basically corral the survivors into an area where you want them. Like if you're in a chase also, one of the best things I could recommend, rather than just chasing down the person, try and chase people off their ciphers. Like you could easily get a hit on the seer, and then all of a sudden, like the seer's running in an area that's far away from survivors. Like you don't want them to be in an area that's not near anybody. You want to just you want them to run into an area that interrupts the cipher rush. If you interrupt the longer you could go interrupting the cipher rush, the better chance of you winning. Like
Cypher is still
you easily leave. Yeah, I just teleported right into that. But hey, I wasted this hero. But if you just leave like a team to their own devices as you just chase somebody, that's one of the worst mistakes you can do, and that's not a very good mistake because that will cost you the game, and you don't want that. So to conclude the Bloody Queen, like sort of tutorial, always, but like my best advice, always don't just M1 a survivor to death if you see them. Keep in mind who is doing what cipher, and always have attention on those cipher wiggling whenever you're getting a hit. That's one of the best things I could give as an advice, because if you just keep track of each and every survivor, like the mercenary, like the rescuers, or just any kiters or decoders, then you can hands down win any game. Like there'll be a lot of games that you get unlucky, and that's fine, because the games you get unlucky and lose, you learn from. And you don't want to just be a winner all the time, because if you're winning, then what are you learning? So it's always good to lose, and every single time that I do lose, you'll hear me saying, okay, what could I have done better to win that? And all hunters can do something a little bit better to secure a W for them. And Bloody Queen can capitalize off of that more so than any other hunter.
Alright. So that ends our Q&A with you. For Bloody Queen, do you want to finish this commentary with Wu Chang?
Yeah, this is a fun game.
I mean, I want to learn Wu Chang. That's why I ask.
that's fine. Honestly, I'm still learning as I go. So as you saw there, like you don't want to just hit as they're going for the rescue, because she just put a perfume back. Instead, I just belled and stopped the rescue immediately. There was a game against John Zhao that where he tried to get a save before half, and he ended up getting Terror Shock because he got Soul Siphon, and then he got belled to death.
Oh wow!
And it was not fun for him. And here it's a really good chance to just he's just so good now. Like I've been playing him a lot more. I've been having a lot of fun with him. Personally speaking, he's A tier. It can definitely be S tier in the right hands. I've seen a lot of Wu Chang players in China just absolutely dominate games with this character. Like this ability, Nirvana, offers a lot of information on the map.
It's like
increases. Yeah, it's basically a peeper. Decreases vaulting interaction speed, and it gives you a teleport that's really fast. So. And here, you just see me trying to apply my Bloody Queen ideology instead of camping the seer. I want to try and apply pressure to whoever I can, really. And here I kind of lose focus on it. Because at this point I'm like, okay, do I really want to chase a mercenary? And I do know that Cypher is a priority target, but I don't have down right. I actually take up an up down build because the pallet destruction speed on Wu Chang is just really great, because he's sort of an M1. He's sort of just a basic attack killer if you do think about it. So if you do find yourself in a tight kiting situation, and it does get a little bit difficult. And here I actually catch him out and get a free hit on him. And there's a seer over there. I saw that much, but here I'm still trying to figure out like where the perfumer is, but I sort of just decide to just chase the seer because I don't have that teleport. And if I just teleport on the perfumer, then she kind of just pops the cipher anyways. And this is why you take destruct in this, because it's like, okay, well, I'm already through the pallet and there's not much you can go. And you could do a lot more with his
oh wow,
charged attacks now. And yeah, that was yeah.
It was
I actually could have won. Yeah, it was a bit late, so I actually could have just won off of this, but I had no idea where the mercenary went, honestly. I assumed that he stayed in the corner, like over here. Like, you see me checking back, and I'm like, okay, did he stay? And then I assumed that he went up towards Christmas Tree. but I didn't get tinnitus in that area. So I'm like, okay, so I'm just gonna go straight to the gate and pray to God that's not already open. I probably could have just TP'd straight away instead of just using Nirvana, and then it would have gotten me there quicker. Like if I was here quicker, like this is just close because you get the hit off and it's like, okay, come on, recover, and then stick happens. It was well played by the mercenary though. He was able to go on a very edge and then go outside of the gate. So that was very well played on the survivors' end. They managed to get that secure that tie even with a bad cipher pop. That could have been a really bad situation for them, but they turned it around pretty well.
Yeah, that was nice.
But Wu Chang, A tier. I just need to learn how to play him.
Yeah, I need to learn him
Damn.
as well.
Yeah, he's fun. He's fun.
He's really
I feel
He's
like
fun.
it could work. It
Yeah, I
should.
recommend it. Recommend it to anybody wanting to learn him.